Hello and welcome in. My name is DrumRollTony. I'm a streamer on Twitch. Over there I do some gaming, but here we're doing music reactions. This channel's still really new and I'm having a lot of fun doing this, and I'm excited to get into the next song. So today we are doing The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly by the Danish National Symphony Orchestra. A famous piece of music. I've heard a lot of variations of it. I've never heard this. I'm not familiar with the Danish National Symphony Orchestra, but I am familiar with an orchestral setting as playing a lot of percussion in it, especially when I was in college studying music. I can see on the screen here the conductor is Sarah Hicks and the soprano is Christine Andersen. So I imagine we're going to have a featured vocalist in here. So, all right, let me bring it up on the screen and let's get into it. Oh, okay. Beautiful. Oh, with the full-on choir too. All right, so we gotta talk about the beginning. Man, as I see the chimes there, though, I can remember like my first year having to play chimes so much in those settings, and moving chimes around, they're super heavy. Anyway, sorry, that's a distraction. Let's get back to it. So all the different sound colors that are going on, from the voice to the recorder to the pan flute, maybe, I don't know, I might be wrong in that. The woodwind instruments that are not as seen as much, I'm gonna fumble on those, but I'm just gonna go back and take another listen, talk a little bit over it though. What a famous intro though. Wait, is it a pan flute? Sorry. I need to do some research after this to figure that out. Nice whistling, by the way. There's our chimes. That choir layer is really nice. So obviously nice dynamic contrast there. I imagine we're going to go some places here. You know, if you're not as familiar with orchestral settings, you need to know that like having electric guitar and bass, electric bass is not normal at all, by the way. So obviously for this piece, there are some very, very famous, that wet, almost, you know, it's that Western sound on guitar, like old school Hollywood sound. Just know that they're not normally present in a orchestral setting. So it's always cool to see, like, you know, like just non-traditional instruments there. But I want to hear this crescendo that goes in here, because the choir, the way that they're adding this layer here is real nice. You hear that? Oh, wow. There's the guy hanging on the noose. Okay. Sorry. I talked over that. It's just, how often do you see someone hanging on a noose in a performance? Not often. So, okay, clearly the first thing I want to talk about is there's a lot of chords shifting. There's a cool dynamic crescendo there, and the resolution was real nice. I will be quiet this time because I want to experience what that actually sounds like. Did you hear the intonation of that chord? Intonation mean playing in tune. That's for those of you that are not instrumentalists or have no band or orchestral experience. You spend a lot of time tuning chords in the ensemble, you know, because there's so many players and there's so many little chances for things to not go well, especially with the brass players, especially with trombones who are playing in positions to where there's no, you're not like playing a fingering. I mean, There are a couple trombones that do have keys, but for the most part, we're going to just assume that most of them are like this for YouTube. Anyway, the point being, that was a really, really nice sound that they arrived to. Let's just hear the resolution one more time. So good. So did you hear the call and response that time from the choir way up stage right? It's not, whatever. It's either stage left or stage right. It doesn't matter. Point being, that call and response has shifted now to a different part of the ensemble, which is awesome. And then our soprano is responding there. Other things to note and think about is how much involvement the hi-hat has. So keep in mind, the hi-hat's one player. And I would say that's almost, beside the featured vocalist, it's almost the highest, the most visible voice within, audible voice, I should say, not visible. I'm hearing hi-hat everywhere, and it's awesome. Let's hear that. So with all that in mind, let's hear that part again. Nice playing in the trumpets there. That's a super, super hard part that's going on here. All those super hard articulations and difficult tonguings there. Everyone's favorite instrument, the slapstick. Did you see it? Right? Where's it at? Right here? This guy? You're used to hearing that on during holiday times. Crack. Smack. At some point in your percussion journey, everyone gets to play that part. And inevitably, during that percussion journey, you snap your fingers in there, and it's super, super painful when you catch just the side of your skin in that. Yeah, not a good time. So that's like a huge tangent, but I can't. If we're gonna see, I got to talk about it if we're gonna see it. So now I'm just gonna rewind a little bit and I want to hear this trumpet line again. The note that they release on super high. It's up in the stratosphere. Just the tiniest bit pitchy on the release there, but whatever. It's awesome. It's live. We love that. I will always take pitchy live music over post-production edits. I'll be honest with you, the first time I didn't even realize that choir line was as epic as it was underneath. So it's hard. There's a lot of layers to orchestral stuff, which makes it great. So I'm glad I caught it that second time around. Let's continue here. There's that resolution again. Yeah, it's a great playing. I mean, it's a famous piece. Everyone, if you're a musician and you're studying kind of in the classical world at some point, I mean, this is not classical music as it's cinematic stuff, but the style and playing, everyone's, you're gonna hit this at some point in your repertoire. But I always dig the percussion involvement here. I mean, I know I talk about drums a lot. That's just, when I was in orchestra, I obviously was in the back section playing all that stuff, and it's kind of laughing at how much difficult music is going on right in front of the slapstick player. And you have that, you're like, rest, 2, 3, 4, hit, rest, and you got like one note and everyone else is playing all the stuff. That's just kind of the way it is in our world. It's whatever. But do you hear the snare drum balance? How well it was mixed with the rest of the orchestra? That, digga that, digga that, digga that, digga that. Super easy rhythm, but it's consistent. The player is a great musician. As you can hear, it just sounds full with everybody. So even those like little things that sound overly simple, sometimes with inexperienced players can, be out of bounds. So this is really nice. So if any of you that are watching this, you've never been in orchestra or band, and you're kind of wondering what's going on here with the baton, this piece of music is in a 2/4 pattern. You can see that because they're going 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1 is always down and out, 2 is up, and they're just kind of giving guidance to the group of where time is. Now, I'm going to be real with you. Groups of this level and stuff, the conductor is kind of just there for basic cues and entrances. As far as keeping time, the musicians are all good enough that they see the peripheral, they go with it, and they blend to each other. How do I say this? More beginning groups, high school level, college level, the conductor plays a more intricate role of actually keeping control of time, within the whole piece. But it's cool to know about, because I remember before I played music when I was a little kid and I saw a conductor, I was like, well, what's going on here? Like, what does this, stick mean? What are they waving around? And obviously there's a lot more time signatures than just 2/4, but we could save that for a different video. But I just wanted to give you a little insight of like what the control is. Maybe if something else changes here, we'll talk about it more, but that's just a little, just the tip of the iceberg there. Ooh. Woo! Great orchestration. All right, so I wasn't expecting this. This is a cool thing about orchestration. Okay, let's talk about that word. So generally, okay, let's talk about 2 words. Orchestra. Orchestra honestly just means group. We use the word orchestra most of the time for this style. Like you see violins, cello, basses. Symphonic orchestra has brass and woodwinds. Orchestration means arrangement. Basically, the way you put something, the way the ink goes on the page, what your musical ideas are in your head, how you write that down, and then you give it to the musicians to play. So obviously, I was not ready for the shift here to go to piano and then have a featured oboe player here. So we're featuring the woodwind section. And it's super nice. So I just want to rewind a little bit just to kind of take this in, because this was a really nice shift and a very, very different feel and tempo. So it's probably pretty apparent in our ear. The rhythmic theme here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We've talked about arpeggios before in some previous videos, but so this is a great visual right here because it's the piano. If I play all the chords at once, all the notes at once, boom, they're stacked on top of each other. You can visualize how like boom, 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 boom. You hit them all together, that is a chord. If we play them one at a time, that is an arpeggio. I imagine most people checking out these videos have probably gotten that information so far, but if you're brand new to music and you wanted to know, now you know. Very typical resolution, really, really nice. So obviously we just talked about the conductor. You can see how there's a little bit of rubato there. Rubato literally means to rob time. So we have a tempo going, then we slow down. It has a little breathing and resolve. So the conductor is in charge of all that. So the musicians there are definitely looking, because if you have like 60 people in an ensemble, you can't have 60 interpretations of time. You need one interpretation of time there, and then they go. Now, with that being said, if we think about what we just heard on the piano, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have our woodwind player being the soloist above that, they're listening down to that rhythmic foundation and expressing. It's a solo written on the page, but they're being expressive with how they play it on top of that. So if we had 5 different soloists play it, it's going to sound 5 different ways. it'll match the rhythms and the shape of the ink, but there'll be like little nuances that make each player special. And this is why live music is so awesome, okay? Where'd you come from? Okay, there's our soprano. Okay, I got a lot of tingles going on. Sorry. Woo, that one got me. Okay, so that's cool for many reasons. A, the surprise factor. B, the technical, like the difficulty. You got to mic this person. You got to have them up there. You got to have the spotlights on them. Like, this is cool. So if you're experiencing this live, this is a whole nother firework that just happened. I need to hear this again. That was cool. I honestly thought this whole time that was the featured vocalist was going to be singing something else that we saw in the beginning. But okay, this makes more sense. Here we go. Listen to that. All right, we just talked about orchestration, right? Remember, someone is thinking of these details. Someone takes this famous movie theme and they're like, how can I make this weave in and out? We introduce the soprano vocalist, and then we have this little recapitulation of what we just heard, and they have all these things happening. Now, let's just rewind a little bit. There's these awesome string layers, and then the choir comes in, and it just like elevates it up. It almost has, if you're a gamer, it almost has like that halo sound effect, which is orchestral in nature, by the way. Ba, ba, da, da. You hear the French horns coming out? I mean, the rest of the brass is playing too, but that was like the dominant voice. Wow. So great mixing, by the way, to have that one solo voice above the rest of the ensemble. Great stuff. I'm not a vocal person, you know, I don't know how to describe the technical prowess and just, you know, like talk about what's going on. But, you know, I was talking about this in my stream last night, actually. Vocal, the instrument of your voice is so difficult because it's inside of you. I actually had to take a vocal pedagogy class with one of the voice professors at university, because I had missed it during my music major. I had missed it with to take it with other people, and I had to take it one-on-one. And it was so intimidating because I'm a rhythm section player. I'm a bassist. I'm a drummer. I'm a percussionist, you know? And when we started learning, well, he started teaching me about how complicated like the inside of your throat is and how to understand all those muscles and diaphragm and breath control. Anytime I see a vocalist like this, I look at it and I'm like, okay, I know I'm ignorant enough to know what I don't know. You know, like the more you know you don't know. And so when you see someone selling out and they sound great like that, you just know that a lot of time and effort and just they have fine-tuned their instrument, and it's very cool. Okay, so wow. Okay, I got chills again. So we're revisiting the wah, 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 that theme, but this time you've got, you got all the string stuff going on, and then you hear the basses, boom, 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 and they resolve, and then I imagine we're about to arrive here, but we got to go back and just feel that layer change, because that's really nice. Nice layering. Did you hear the trumpets and all the high brass on those huge layers just on top? That is amazing. Go back, go back. All right, so let's learn some more vocabulary. This is a great use of an ostinato. What an ostinato is a repeating rhythm. So we can hear in the piano, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. It's hitting there. And of course, the obligatory one is that snare drum. The whole time. So let's let you notice that piano part again. I heard some drum toms there. Hold on. Yeah. Give it up for the band. All right, so cool ending. I want to point out the quarter note triplet rhythms. There's this this big segment happening. Sounds like trombones, probably euphoniums. I'm not totally sure, but I just want to rewind it so you can grab onto that. Not yet. Coming. Oh, trumpet, sorry. Yeah, it sounds like that quarter note triplet rhythm was a mix between trumpets and trombones. I would have to see the ink on the page, but it was a dominant voice there. That was what a great piece of music. Well, that was super fun. What a great piece of music. What a famous piece of music. How old is it? I don't really know when it was composed. I feel like it's at least 50 years old, but it doesn't matter. It sounded great. I think that's my favorite orchestration of it, to be honest. And oh, by the way, why I'm thinking about it, it's an ocarina flute at the beginning. I don't know why I said pan flute. Sometimes I say weird things off the cuff. Whatever. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you can catch my next upload. Come over to my Twitch channel. I want to meet you. Come hang out. We do some gaming over there, but you could tell me what I should react to next. That'd be a good time. So anyway, thank you so much for watching the video. I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next upload. Take it easy. Bye-bye.